Hey guys, I am MG, and today I'll be looking at Happy Gilmore, which is a 1996 American sports comedy film that is about Gilmore playing golf to gain money for his grandma's house. And it was directed by Dennis Dugan, that also stars Adam Sandler as the titular character, who wrote the script alongside Tim Herlihy. However, why don't we stop yelling at balls and start reviewing right now? This film pretty much matched my expectations, where I thought it was going to be a good fun time. And yes, it was. I really enjoyed the story, which was very engaging to watch. And all of the golf scenes had plenty of charm, especially when Happy throws a tantrum and fights people. That was honestly very enjoyable, especially when he went against Bob Barker, which was an amazing fight. It's simple, but incredibly effective, with a lot of lively direction that doesn't go overboard with anything, and just looks very naturalistic, with solid effects. Like the explosion was cool as hell, and the visuals of the hallucinations have aged very well, and are quite nice to look at. The production design is also solid, like the miniature golf course is filled with a lot of detail, and you can tell how hard everyone has tried to make the movie as good as they could. And the performances were really exceptional too. Adam Sandler is very committed to his role, Christopher McDonald suits the villain really nicely, Julie Bowen is great at portraying her character, Frances Bay was incredibly heartwarming, and Carl Weathers was quite entertaining as a coach for Happy. The film is also really funny. A lot of the humor never felt forced, with a bunch of jokes and hilarious gags that were all wonderfully executed. And I am pretty satisfied to say that this is a comedy. As for the characters, I thought they were a little underdeveloped, but I still liked all of them. Happy is charismatic, who has a sweet relationship with his grandma. Virginia was a fine enough addition to the story. Shooter isn't the best villain. I mean, he doesn't have many interesting traits, but he was rather okay, and suits well enough as a rival character. I also like the dynamic between Happy and Chubbs. I kind of wish they had more scenes, since a lot of the second act removed Chubbs from the story, and I was pretty upset at Chubbs dying, because it was so sudden and unnatural. But I sort of got over it, because we see him be positive in Happy's hallucinations. And by the way, their chemistry was still perfectly decent, with a few legit funny moments that I am glad is between these two. I did not really like the stuff with the abusive orderly. It just didn't fit the tone very well, and while it barely gets focused on, the grandma lives there for 3 months, so it's kind of unpleasant to think about. And the orderly was never funny, so it does nothing for the comedy, and felt a bit mean in a movie like this. The product placement was very unnecessary as well. It doesn't harm anyone, but it seems like a way of showing off real-life brands, and it's not a thing I love in films when it overdoes it. The pacing is also a bit too fast. Everything in the first act seemed like it was rushed to move the story along, and I wanted the runtime to be a little longer, since that could have allowed for some more emotional character moments. Oh yeah, and the film doesn't do that good of a job of being emotional. I'm not that attached to anyone's crisis, since the characters aren't all that fleshed out, and the emotional moments aren't particularly bad, but it's not like it's working either. But going back on some positive notes, the music was really great, and just sounds fantastic to hear from a movie like this, that is insanely memorable. And the soundtrack has some banger songs in it as well, that fit each scene really nicely. And overall, this was just very nice to watch for the whole runtime, in spite of its faults. I had a really good time watching this, and if you haven't seen it yet, then go ahead and check it out, because it is certainly, in my opinion, a happy movie. 7.7 out of 10. Goodbye everyone, and thank you for watching. Bye!